Hello everyone, I'm about to start a video related to exercise. I'm about halfway through my hike, but I wanted to start this specifically at this portion of my trail. So I'm already at the base of the mountain, but I'm about 7,200 feet up and I'm about to go up to maybe 9,000. So let's start hiking and let's start talking. So thank you for listening. If you guys haven't listened to me before, my name is Nick Pinella. I have somatic OCD in the middle of recovery, about 6 months in. And today I want to talk about the importance of exercise and healthy habits while we're going through OCD recovery. So why does exercise or cardiovascular exercise, whether it's resistance training, hiking, whatever you like to do, play an important part into physical and mental health? So, well, we all know that exercising releases endorphins, it increases health markers such as, blood pressure, decreases blood pressure, resting heart rate, helps with total cholesterol, stress management, and stuff like that. But we're going to talk about it in depth when it comes to stress management, because if you're someone how I am, who tends to be an extremist, and you're using it to decrease anxiety, it's probably not the best way to go about it. So more than likely, it will probably become a little compulsive in the beginning. That's how it was for me. I was hiking 40 to 50 miles a week, which I would never do. I always focused more on resistance training, but this would be a really good thing to be aware of, because, anything that you're doing that's distracting you with the purpose of decreasing anxiety is never good in the long term. So what did I do in the beginning of my OCD recovery journey, and how did it feel when I was exercising? So I was hiking 5 to 6 times a week, hikes like I'm doing now, a little bit more intense, and I had complete depersonalization while I was hiking. So I would be really unaware of where I was. And this was tough because, sorry, Rob, you sent me a message, but it was tough because, I was, really wanting to enjoy the hike and not so much accepting that I probably more than likely was not going to in that stage of my recovery. So I would black out and I wouldn't really remember where I was because my anxiety was so high. And this was really it was really hard to wrap my head around because I really enjoyed exercising. I moved to Colorado because I wanted to start hiking more and stuff like that. If any of you guys have seen my videos of me doing the Manitou incline, look that up. It's called the Manitou incline. And I was doing that while I had complete depersonalization. So I was so heavily locked on my sensations. So you really can do a lot of things, when it comes to exercise, when you don't think you can do it. So, and that's an important thing to teach yourself, because over time, you start teaching yourself that you can do things even when your body, even when you're convinced that you can't. So, I was hiking, exercising, walking my dogs, all with depersonalization, and 10 out of 10 locked on anxiety. So that was really, I usually go this way. I'm not going to do that. Not on the phone. But it was really, really intense. And, I was really locked on my symptoms during these hikes. Now, when it comes to resistance training, what did I like to do? I like to resistance train between three and 5 times a week. I'm not as crazy into bodybuilding as I used to be. And I realized that, the fitness industry is riddled with mental health problems, body dysmorphia. It's all conditional. If you think about what bodybuilding is, you're being judged off one aspect of who you are, your physique, which is a materialistic aspect in a lot of ways. And people put their whole self-worth on that. So it's about finding balance and enjoying what you do. You know, the evidence is pretty clear that strength training and resistance training has a lot of benefits, you know, especially for elderly people and stuff like that with osteoporosis. But again, I'll do a more in-depth conversation when oh my God, I'm so high up, there's snow up here. So, okay, check this out, guys. So this is the path that I take for the next about 2 miles. Go all the way up on the back of this mountain. So this is the hike I was doing a lot. It was one of my favorite hikes. It's not a crazy hike. There's not too much elevation gain, but man, do I get to a good lookout spot. And this really helped put my perspective, you know, when I was really suffering and getting to these beautiful views and realizing just, you know, how fortunate we are that I can do this. There's so many people on earth that are stuck in hospital beds or that don't have legs. You know, maybe they were a amputee in the war, or they have severe PTSD and they don't have the working knowledge of how to go about going with recovery. And they really can't enjoy these types of things. And that's a really unfortunate circumstance. So, you know, no matter what your fear is, you know, I have not seen an OCD case myself, and I'm not very experienced, you know, where someone isn't capable of going through a walk, even when they're really, really, really in the midst of anxiety. So, my anxiety is pretty high right now. For me, a lot of muscle tension in my neck. So you have a muscle on the side of your neck right there called your sternocleidomastoid, which deals with rotation and lateral bend of your head. That muscle gets really tight on me because I'm all like hunched up like this. So, but you know, it's one of the most important parts of my OCD recovery journey. Right now for me, I resistance train 3 times a week and I hike once, maybe 2 times a week if someone comes and visits me. And I want to do more than that, but I don't allow myself because I'm teaching myself balance. There's other aspects of my life I have to focus on, such as business, such as working, making content on my YouTube channels, you know, and stuff like that. I started a channel on my experiences, not advice, just experiences. And then we have a channel, my wife and I, for our business. So, you know, getting into a good life structure, which is something working with Rob, he's really helped me with, has really been a blessing when it comes to the recovery process itself. And there are days, I think this is important to touch on. When it comes to exercise, no matter if you're hiking or resistance training or biking or swimming, so motivation is very temporary. I think we can all relate to that. You might get really motivated to start doing recovery work, but it's the discipline. Oh, wow. It's the discipline. I gotta stop. Take a sip of my coffee. Life. It's the discipline and the persistence that actually gets you to your end game. So we always talk about motivation. There's plenty of days where I'm very motivated, but there's other days where I'm not. And those are the days that matter. Like today, slept in a little later than normal. I can accept that. And then I came for my hike by myself today. I'm not with my wife. Usually I am because I wanted to make this video and I didn't want to annoy her. So, and I really wasn't feeling the hike today. You know, I said to myself, you know, yeah, I'll just sit home. And then I said, no, absolutely not. You said you were going to hike every Sunday, no matter how you feel. And then I just did it. So the reality is, when the beginning of your journey, you're more than likely not going to enjoy all of your training. Again, no matter what it is, resistance training, cardiovascular, so on and so forth. So you're more than likely not going to enjoy it. And that's part of the recovery journey itself. Really, probably in any type of recovery, not just OCD, but OCD specifically, because your anxiety is probably really high. You have a lot of intrusive thoughts, physical sensations of anxiety. So you might be hyper-focused on those things, but pushing through to exercise really teaches you a really important thing about learning to persist through when things get tough. Check this out. It's hard to see just how steep it is, but like there's people that come down here on bikes, man, at like 30 miles an hour. It's crazy. They're all the same. Got real small upper bodies and gigantic legs. It's awesome. So, and I did this last Sunday in a snowstorm. Guys, oh, so cool. So, like I said, there's a lot of real cool benefits to exercising for us, and not just the health benefits. Like, I'm not even talking about the bio health markers and stuff like that, which I could go into a 3-hour-long video about the benefits of exercise. You know, when it comes to anything, muscle hypertrophy, strength, cardiovascular, all that stuff. So there's a lot of really cool benefits to this type of stuff. And remember too, you know, there's more than likely, you know, it's gonna get a little bit compulsive in the beginning, especially if you have a personality geared towards me. Some people might be better with balance naturally. I've been diagnosed with ADHD since I was like 12. So for me, I have to accept that my balance is gonna have to pertain a little bit more self-awareness than others. That's okay, that's just part of who I am, you know, and this all comes down to the acceptance of who you are. So I just got to the one part. Check this out. You know, like who's building these stairs in the middle of the woods? Crazy when you think about it. So, yeah, guys, that's it. You know, I'm gonna keep the video there. So summary, as I like to do, you know, try to do something. Personally, you wanna know okay, so I like resistance training better than cardiovascular activity, but I really suggest getting outside, especially if you're someone who's been locked up in the house because of quarantine and stuff like that. If you can get outside, go for a walk, you know, see if you like it. You may not like it, that's okay, but I think being out in nature is really, really critical to the OCD recovery process. That's just my opinion. Guys, it's helped me so much. You know, even when I was, like I said, I was super down, super sad, super hyper-focused on my sensations. But yeah, that's that. I thought I saw some. The last time I was out here, there was just some gigantic buck deer 10-pointer ran across me. And I was just like, hello. So yeah, maybe start a couple days a week. Don't go to the gym 7 days a week. First of all, you don't need that. Most of you could progress very, very optimally with 3 full body days a week. I know you don't need a lot of volume. You don't have to go to the gym too much, you know, and then maybe hike or bike or swim once a week and just start small. You know, if you start small, you have more room to grow. But if you go to the top end, start working out 7 days a week, there's not really, not really a lot of places you can go from that. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video. If I really talk any further, I'll just start rambling, which some of you might like, some of you might hate, and I can accept that. So I'll stop here for a second. Thank you so much for listening. I think this is a really important video. You know, I'll leave it at this. Coming out here by myself, although I love my wife with my coffee and my $8 coffee, which I only buy on Sundays, you know, it really helps me just be present, and it helps me be just have the thoughts come, and there's real no distraction. It's just like me and my thoughts and my sensations, and there's something peaceful about that. You know, I really come out here and I really can connect on a level with myself. I'm not the most spiritual person at all, but I really can come out here and and really feel almost free. So it's a very cool thing. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to talk about exercise, feel free to shoot a message down below, and have a great day, guys. Thank you so much.